Hi everybody, Tom Cassidy here. I've got Charles Cassidy with me, the co-author of the Framework for Exceptional Teaching, the 9x4, the reasonable way to actually become a complete genius at teaching. You know, no, be modest about this.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Why does it work so well?
One of the things we're talking about in this is in this characteristic. This is think big. Is I guess the idea that we were just talking about. A lot of these things are quite esoteric, and they're the mindfulness level, aren't they? They're not practical. I mean, all the basics of being a great teacher are in week 7, which is do the basics well. Why do you think it's important to have something that is working at the level of mindfulness, and what is it about that rather than just having, the nitty gritty?
Well, I think the nitty gritty is very well established. I mean, people have been teaching for a long time. A lot of research is done in these fields, and I think we wouldn't disagree with any of those basics.
Yeah.
And as you've stated before, just nail those basics, you are doing a fine job. And that's doing what is what the teachers what the pupils can expect of you. You're delivering it, and it's good. It might be a little bit joyless, and it might not be a very interesting process for you. Your own sort of growth. So I think what we're saying here is that through the adopting of certain attitudes and perspectives, you yourself can find this whole career-long journey much more satisfying from a personal perspective, and sort of take it into the kind of the stratosphere, because mastering the basics, it's like becoming a quite good mechanic. That's great, but this is sort of saying that it can be a lot more than that. And a lot of these, a lot of the ways you can take it onto the other level, they are kind of mental constructs, aren't they? Really, they are perspectives and attitudes. So it's a little bit hard to get hard science on it, which is probably why people stray away from it.
Resist it a little bit. And what we're doing is saying, actually it's less about the content, but if you're going to put some content in it, let's have them that encourage mindfulness, encourage growth, and encourage stuff that maybe isn't covered by the practical approaches. The craft of the classroom and that sort of stuff.
Well, I think a lot of that is, it's for the pupils, isn't it? Really, all of that. It's making sure that the pupils are getting what should be expected of a reasonable teacher, and often it's quite baseline stuff.
It's a minimum expectation.
And
to avoid mediocrity.
Make sure. As long as everyone can do this, then we know that there aren't any children who are getting hard done by. But what we're saying is, you're going to be throwing all your energy into this. This is kind of your life's work.
Let's be awesome. Let's not be,
exactly
quite good.
And these are some suggestions about ways that you can do that.
Okay, so thinking big. It is about seeing teaching in your life and your role and everything you do has been really pretty impressive, but also thinking big for the students and expecting great things from them. One of the things I want to talk about in the how to do it, and this one is this algorithm 3, if you like, changing your language. This works so well. I've used this particular algorithm, which I stumbled across a long time ago and applied it into this framework. I use it for everything now. It's really, really powerful. To just replace I've got to with I get to. Whether it's you're doing your taxes, I've got to do my taxes. I get to do my tax returns. I get to take out the trash. No. You will not believe how much it changes your mindset. If you just say, oh, I get to take out the trash, because then you think I get to be part of a symbiotic sort of relationship with the environment, and it's just.
Why does that work, do you think? Because it doesn't sound like it should. I can sort of see how the idea of you, it seems like you're then you have the power, you're in control, I suppose. But why would that doesn't seem to fully explain sufficiently why that would be.
For example, that you've got to teach this really difficult class, 7P or something after lunch, and you're gonna, I've got to teach 7P, and then you say, I get to teach 7P. I think probably the link with the listening and the words. Some people might call it neurolinguistic programming, but they're the same way that smiling, your brain then knows that if you're smiling you must be feeling good, so it starts creating that feeling good. when you start using words, your brain is used to hearing those words and associating them with something good. So it's
what just occurred to me as you were saying that was that if you say you get to do something, that you will be expecting there to be some benefit for you from that situation. Whereas if you say I've got to, you're expecting it's going to be a negative. I'm going to come out of this as a deficit. And you've spoken about this before in the past, but if you are expecting certain things to happen, you're more likely to spot the benefits.
Tuned into them. Yeah, exactly.
So I suppose what that change in language is doing is forcing you to expect and therefore notice the positives that come out of that lesson that you're going to teach or whatever, taking the transfer.
Yeah, exactly. All you're doing is you're applying. There's so much information going on in the world that's coming to your senses that you have to have some way to filter out what's relevant and what isn't. And one
Google,
exactly. One of the ways to filter that out is to precondition your brain with the expectations. So if you are using words that train your brain to think that there are going to be good things out of this experience, you will filter to see those good things.
Because good things and bad things will happen.
Yeah, exactly. You're not trying to fool the universe. You're not trying to there is going to be good stuff. I mean, I could go in and deliver a really terrible lesson, and someone else might deliver exactly the same lesson and think it was way worse, and someone else might come and deliver the same lesson and think it was way better, depending on what they're looking for. So you're completely right. There are always good and bad things happening all the time, or things that can be interpreted as good or bad all the time. So just try it. In this week, just replacing whenever you find yourself saying either to yourself or someone that you've got to, replace it with a get to. And small change, big difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Done. Think big.